I am a squatter in Donald Trump's building, Trump Tower, in New York City. As you can see, I'm in my pajamas.
Well, I'll be honest with you guys, I wish I didn't have the ability to make a part 2 to this list. Although you seem to enjoy part 1, the topic itself made me sick to my stomach. So you can imagine how I felt when I was able to find 10 more examples of people all over the world pretending to be homeless. Now I will say there are a few examples here that aren't as bad as someone pretending to be homeless to feed an addiction, for example, but still, pretending to be homeless is never a good thing to do. What's going down, guys? Jared Bronstein here, welcome back to I.O. Today we'll be counting down the top 10 people who pretended to be homeless, part 2. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, of course, click that bell to never miss a video, check out part 1 if you guys haven't yet, and make sure to stick around to the very end because we've got some bonus content you guys do not want to miss out on. Make sure to follow the entire I.O. team on social media, but for now, we gotta get right into it. Starting our list off at number 10, this Abilene, Texas man. Although his name wasn't included in the news report, after what I'm about to tell you, you'll never forget this guy's face again. The man is a known scammer with the police chief stating he panhandles every weekend. The issue is that not only does this man pretend to be homeless, but he sits in a wheelchair pretending to be handicapped as well. According to Chief Stan Standridge, great name by the way, this scammer makes up to $1,000 a weekend and has someone drop him off to the spot where he asks for money. Standridge claims he's seen the man get dropped off with his own eyes, and the man even told Standridge he isn't homeless after people called the police department to check on the man's well-being. In at number 9, Paula Headley. With tears coming down her eyes wrapped in a dirty blanket or sometimes even a garbage bag, Headley sits on 5th Avenue preying on unsuspecting victims. A known con artist with a rap sheet dating back over 20 years, Headley lays on the sidewalk pretending she's in agonizing pain and of course has nowhere to go. But when her day is done, Headley, who can make up to $200 a day, will go to a telephone booth and change into much nicer, cleaner clothing. It's believed she has an apartment in Harlem, but really plays up that she's homeless, which she's been doing for years. One cop even explained how when he was arresting Headley, another woman scolded him for arresting her, even though he had explained she was a con artist. When the woman walked away, Headley started laughing, acknowledging her ruse. Moving on to number 8, the Trump Towers woman. In a video which would go viral before being proven to be a fake, a homeless woman could be seen wearing pajamas while looking out a window overseeing New York City. In the video, this unnamed woman explains she was homeless and started squatting in Trump Towers until she was ultimately caught by housekeeping. They contacted the hotel's manager, who then called the cops. When the cops showed up, as per this woman's story, they gave her 2 choices. She can leave willingly or leave in handcuffs and go to jail. She decided she wasn't going anywhere, so they decided to call Donald Trump. When Trump met the woman, he told her she could stay in his hotel for free, and as per the woman in the video, also provided her with 3 meals via room service daily. When the Associated Press reached out to Trump Towers for a comment, a spokeswoman said the video had no validity, and multiple sources from employees of the towers to tenants denied ever seeing the woman. It's unclear if she was a guest, an actor, or a regular person filming in a public place, but one thing is for sure, she wasn't who she claimed to be in the video. In at number 7, the Liverpool beggar. So the story here is James Southern approaches a man begging for change and actually confronts him for not being homeless. In the short video, James can be heard asking if he's the man that lives around the corner. The man admits he does in fact live in a nearby house and isn't homeless. The man tries to defend his actions by explaining to James he doesn't tell people he's homeless. But when James recalls the time a few nights ago when he saw the same guy with a group of people, the man did in fact claim he was homeless. Rather than come up with an excuse, the man flat out says, "Oh, I did? Well, I lied." After James calls him out for such disgusting behavior, the man claims he was homeless for a period of time, and although he now has a roof over his head, he still considers what he does work and goes as far as calling it professional begging. Moving on to number 6. This guy in Rayleigh, a small town in England, has been offered help numerous times but keeps refusing it. It seems the approximate £150 he makes per day is enough to keep him from wanting to find another job. It's also believed this man has a place to live but spends most of his day in a tent pitched in a parking lot where he makes his money. Although the local community safety team has offered numerous times to help the man out, he's refused every single time. Locals are complaining about how aggressive he could be at times, and what seems to bother them the most is that he already has somewhere to live. In at number 5, Ryan Bray. That's the name of the man that exposed a panhandler in Bradenton, Florida. After watching the apparent down-and-out man ask people for money, Bray thought he'd do the man one better and actually offer him a job. But Bray didn't get the reaction he was expecting. At all. After offering the man $15 an hour to do some yard work, the man allegedly got angry, refusing the offer and cursing at Bray. The panhandler then proceeded to kick Bray's car, threatened to kill his wife, and then walked away. Understandably shocked by what had happened, Bray went home. He made his own sign explaining how he offered the man work and how he's a scammer, went back to the spot that the man was panhandling, and held it right behind the man. Moving to the number 4 spot, Dr. James McDonald. Now, unlike the majority of people on this list, this guy's reasoning for pretending to be homeless is a little more respectable. McDonald is a pastor at a church in Chicago and decided to do a social experiment testing some of his fellow worshippers. The plan was to dress up and portray someone homeless right in front of the church doors to see how people would react. In the video that went viral on Facebook, you could see a handful of churchgoers bringing the man food, praying with him, and offering him to come inside the church. The pastor could be seen in the video walking to the front of the congregation while still in disguise until he reveals it was him the entire time. McDonald then addresses the church, saying how proud he is of all of them for their selfless acts of kindness. In at number 3, Gary Thompson. This 30-year-old Kentucky man claims to make $100,000 a year panhandling and doesn't see anything wrong with pretending he's mentally disabled while he's at it. Thompson also gets around in a wheelchair, which, although he could still walk, legitimately finds a wheelchair helps him get around easier. Yet when asked about feeling like he's doing something wrong, Gary explained, "Why be ashamed for getting something to eat?" Thompson claims he's gotten really good at his act, and although he's been arrested a handful of times for trespassing, begging, and theft by deception, he doesn't seem like he's slowing down anytime soon. In fact, Thompson referred to what he does as fun, and went as far as saying, I quote, "I mean, people give people in wheelchairs money that are handicapped. It just helps me mentally handicapped." End quote. At number 2, we got Neil. Neil is a fake homeless beggar who was featured on Channel 4 series hosted by Ed Stafford, depicting the life on the streets around Britain. Neil admitted he isn't homeless but makes up to £60 hourly near the West End in central London. Neil explained, I quote, "The spot I share it with someone who is actually homeless because I'm not. No, I have a 2-bedroom house. It's amazing what people give you if they think that you are homeless." End quote. Neil went on to say that although he does feel bad that he's taking from unsuspecting people and from people who are really homeless, he's got a drug habit he needs to feed. So I mean, yeah, sure, if that's, I guess, yeah. Now in at the top spot, at number 1, we'll call him Fake Legs. Although this man hasn't been identified, I don't think people will ever fall for his act again. A video of an apparent disabled man getting exposed went viral after someone proved he wasn't actually missing both his legs. The video starts off showing a man on a platform with wheels asking for money. It appears both of his legs have been amputated, but someone was convinced this was a con and decided to prove it. They go up to the man and actually untie his pant legs before ultimately ripping off the man's pants and showing that he does indeed have both of his legs. Stuck with his legs wrapped up, the man tries to get away by pushing his homemade trolley of sorts, while those on the streets are yelling at him and calling him a fraud. And there you guys have it for the top 10 people who pretended to be homeless, part 2. Really hope we leave it off here because these stories are just kind of gross to cover. And it seems to be a problem going on worldwide, unfortunately. So I'm happy to educate you guys on this, but I hate reading about it. It's like, I just hate people. Now, as always, let me know in the comments below which one you think was the worst one on this list. Truthfully, I think they're all terrible, but maybe not the pastor. Yeah, I mean, he had good intentions, I guess. For now, let's reply to some comments from the video. Pope forced to apologize for slapping woman's hand away. Anila Adrian said, "Why do you look like Justin Baldoni from Jane the Virgin?" I looked him up. I don't think I look that much like him. Maybe when I had the beard, kinda. I don't know. But cool. Lori R said she should have apologized to him. Thank you, Lori. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, why? The Pope wasn't in the wrong and he's apologizing for someone else's behavior? Like, what? DC Carter said top 10 bad plays in the NFL. I won't lie, I've actually thought about doing like a sports channel on my personal page, but apparently it's very tough because you can't show any footage of anything because they'll just take it down. So I don't know, but let me know if you guys would check out my page if I made sports related stuff. Anyways guys, I've been your host Jared Bronstein. You guys have been watching Inform Overload. Make sure to follow the entire IO team on Instagram or social media, whatever you kids do nowadays. And of course, click that subscribe button and that bell to never miss a video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy these bloopers. She can leave willingly. I can't say the word willing. I can't say it. Oh, Mr. Ballyman. You know that song? Banana. Harry Belafonte? Oh, Mr. Ballyman. Give me a banana. Oh. Moving on to number 6, this guy in Rayleigh. A small town in England, but McDonald then addresses the church, saying how proud he is of them. A video of an apparent disabled man getting exposed went viral after someone proved But when someone was convinced this was a con,